Let's learn to love English. Good morning to one and all. I am Mrs. Sujata Ali, teaching English since the past 20 years in Dharampet MPDO Memorial Science College, Nagpur. I sincerely feel that English is one of the most beautiful languages through which we can communicate and express ourselves clearly, precisely, and meaningfully. All it takes is for you to start speaking daily, little by little, and in no time you will realize that you have mastered the art of speaking and communicating in English fluently. So, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Let's Learn to Love English. I commence my first presentation with the poem Have You Earned Your Tomorrow by Edgar Guest. This is a poem written in 4 stanzas that is separated into sets of 4 lines or quatrains. The poet has chosen to follow this pattern of quatrains in order to maintain a consistent rhyme scheme, which is AA BB, CC AA, DD EE, and FF AA. The poem is marked with a lot of questions which forces the reader to think on the lines about how he or she has been living each day of their lives. Are there any good deeds being done by them? Is their life worth living? And do they deserve to live on this beautiful planet for another day? You cannot but admire the poet for his sharp, accurate, and straightforward questions pointed right at you, which makes you see and self-introspect, and in turn, your thoughts towards your soul and explore the way in which you have been living your life. In the first stanza, the poet begins by asking the reader if they did anything at the start of the day due to which someone felt happier. Were any kind words spoken by the reader that provided a feeling of happiness or a kindred feeling in somebody's heart? The significance of these 2 questions is that it lays a huge emphasis on unprompted kindness. The first day is coming to an end, and hence, was the reader able to create a positive impact in anybody's life? By the end of the day, will there be even one person who will speak a kind or a good word of you? The second stanza too commences with a question. The speaker asks if the reader, in any time during the day, greeted a friend in a cheerful manner or was so absorbed within himself that he just happened to blurt out a rude, informal greeting without a smile or a nod or a friendly expression on his face. Was the reader merely trying to fulfill a formality by wishing someone without any good feelings in his heart? The speaker tells us that this is a selfish way to behave where one is just concerned about his own affairs. The speaker expects a positive reply by hoping that the reader did indeed do his share of good deed for the day. The third stanza begins with a more elaborate and lengthy question wherein the speaker asks the reader that as the day is coming to an end, was he able to help a single person who crossed his path? A small act of kindness would be sufficient for you to have earned living for another day. Good deeds have been given a lot of emphasis throughout the poem. The world today is filled with feelings of anger, hatred, animosity, bitterness, revenge, and all sorts of other evils. Hence, in such times, if we all focus on doing one good to another human being, this world can definitely become a better place for us to live in. The speaker wants to know if there is at least one person who might be happier and rejoicing over what you did. Ideally, the speaker concludes the third stanza by asking the reader if his or her kind words have been able to give courage and hope to a man who felt that he has lost everything in life, and now this man, because of your kind words, can look ahead with positivity. The importance and relevance of each day well spent is brought to limelight by the poet in the last and concluding stanza 4. The speaker asks his readers if they wasted one day or did not spend it wisely. On the other hand, if the day was well spent, then there will definitely be a trail of kindness marking one's path through the day. At the end of the day, just as you close your eyes in slumber, that is, when you go to sleep or about to go to sleep, do you feel that while praying to God, would you in turn hear God tell you that you have earned the right to live for another day because of the work you did today? So, the final call, if whether you deserve to live for another day or not, depends on your actions of today. Through this poem, the poet Edgar Guest has highlighted the importance of living our life filled with little acts of kindness and generosity done by us throughout the day. It helps us to live a better, fuller, truthful, and meaningful life with compassion and goodness in our hearts. I'm sure all those of you who have listened to this explanation of the poem have by now been able to understand the actual meaning or the moral that is being preached by the poet Edgar Guest. Thank you all for your patient listening and watching. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Let's learn to love English. Thank you once again.